Hello team, it's been an absolute week of it, and today we've got an incredibly busy day for the vlog with the launch of the new Edge Hybrid Training Club, which previously was the old Community Revive, and as you'll know from the previous videos, that is now transitioning into the Edge Training Club. If you haven't watched the last video, please go and watch it and then come back here, or watch this one, then go back and then watch this one again. Either way, it's been a hell of a week, and I think before we kind of get into the conditioning club and what that's going to be, I wanted to also tell you what's been going on behind the scenes to make this kind of happen. And for context, we basically started the Revive Conditioning Club around 2 years ago, just as something that I wanted to do because there was nothing like that when I started that kind of training, that kind of hierarchy style training. There was no clubs, and when I ended up doing it as a hobby, we had hundreds of people coming in every week, and it was absolutely crazy. And so now we're getting to a point where this hobby is now turned into something that we can actually use and reward people that have given us their loyalty over the last couple of years, and make that experience the best it can be, which is super rewarding. But a massive part of all of this stuff is just being able to manage the stress. Like, for anyone that is building anything, whether it's a side project or if it's your job or life at home, like I'm lucky enough to live in London where there are so many opportunities, but for those that are living a little bit further afield, trying to do all these kind of things and get access to track and have access to communities is really difficult. So being able to manage that stress of constantly having to make use of these opportunities is something that I'm very, very aware of now. And I think, having dealt with a lot of difficult things, my previous business, I had a marketing agency for 5 years, through numerous ups and downs and some horrific times, which I would not wish on anyone, especially financial stress, looking after employees, all sorts of issues, and spending years of my life thinking I cannot simply do this anymore. At age like 22, 23, it really felt like, why me, almost. But it's so easy to let those kind of things then kind of knock you down. But I think for me, what they did was so useful in essentially creating a new bench line of what I was capable of, what stress that I could handle. And like, for me, I know that if I can get through what I've got through, nothing else has come close, and will come close to that level of stress and anxiety and difficulty. So it kind of raises your own game to a place where you don't think you could even take it yourself, because of all of these external things that you've had to muddle through, had to find a way to get through. And I'm still paying things off 4 years later down the line. I'm still trying to do all of these things, and those kind of mistakes and issues that you face, they do shape you, and they have shaped me to become who I am. And even though it's cost me so much money, so much time, so much anxiety, probably quite a lot of my health, I wouldn't change a thing, because the lessons that I've learned from my previous business I've taken into Edge, and every endeavor that I do now, to do it fully, do it properly, do everything that I did wrong in a right way now. And I think that's all you can ever do in business and work in your life, is just learn as much as you can, because in this job, being self-employed, it's basically you, and there's no safety net. So it's down to you to pick yourself back up again. And if you don't do that, it's a very slippery slope, especially when alcohol's involved. And I think that's part of the reason that I did decide to give up the booze. But to be fair, like, giving up alcohol isn't necessarily the only solution. Like, there are plenty of people that I know that go through very difficult times and they keep drinking and they don't take it to a dangerous level. But I feel like, from my personality type, or just me, I feel like I would just end up in a chasm of uncontrollable nihilism, which would be fucking terrible. So I just ended up getting obsessed with fitness, which is why we're here today. So grateful for that. And since then, I've actually recently started having a drink every now and then, because I think that I have enough control now about how to drink properly. Like, I would never really go and absolutely hammer it again. But I came back from Glastonbury last week, and I've definitely struggled this whole week because of it, and I didn't even drink much. I was just out a lot, long hours without sleeping. And I think my mate James actually said something quite good recently. It was like, alcohol is like borrowed happiness. You like borrow the happiness of the days where you're hungover. I think it's a really good point. But it's also like, for me, I see alcohol and getting drunk as a time where if I'm getting pissed or if I'm having a few drinks with people, it really is a big deal for me, and I'm sacrificing my feelings for the next few days to have a really intense and good time with these people here. And for me, that's really important. If I am going to have a drink, it's got to be around those people that I feel so connected to, so happy to be around, so safe to be around, that it doesn't really like feel like it was never not worth it. It always feel like that was so nice to be able to see my dad and have a drink, or my brother, or my friends who I've not seen in years since school, and those kind of rare things. But so I'm not necessarily going back to drinking, but it's something that I'm less scared about now, and I don't necessarily need to say that I'm sober. I just don't really drink, but if I do, it's, you know who you are, basically. If I drink around you, you know I'm in a good spot and a good space. But yeah, that suddenly got really heavy, fucking hell. But the aim of today's video is to show you guys the absolute carnage that unfolds at the Edge Training Club, the ETC as we like to call it, which is going to be a big weekly session every week. Next week we're partnering with Metrics, and really excited to see what we can do with them in the future. But for this week, it's going to be Zoe and Danny. They're coming down from the north and from the west to absolutely kill this session. It's going to be a good one. And to be honest, I actually can't wait to try some of these sessions out myself, because I've led them for years now. I just actually want to do it. So I'm looking forward to actually giving someone else the reins for a couple of times and getting in the mix myself. But other than that, we're going to catch up shortly. I'm going to see you at the gym. Let's get boogie.
My time, I know she wants my time. Chocolates, red wine, she wants
Nice. What's in the box, Mikey? Dance. Tonight. Got a DJ coming down. It's going to be a bit more vibey than normal, just to kick off Edge Training Club. So yeah, I thought we'd make it a bit of a party. Twist it. And then you should just lift it off. And then he said, make sure when you put it back on, that's it. There we go. Yep. Beautiful. So you are you decaffeinated then? Obviously you do.
Nah, I just have normal tea.
Ever wondered how they remove caffeine from like coffee? You use high pressure CO2 and a bit of magic.
Bit of magic.
Just read that before to this.
Just bullshit.
I have wondered though.
You should know I'll be there for you. I'll be lending my ears to you.
Like bikes, row.
Can we use that space over there?
Yeah, any of
brilliant.
it.
That's mega. Happy days.
Bike, row, assault bike, whatever we need to bring out.
Do you have a workout ready for today?
We do indeed.
Yeah?
Me and Sam have been sat plotting all afternoon.
Oh really? Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, it's very Hyrox focused. We was trying to get it to be more like individual based, but noting like space, kit and equipment, we've gone for like a quite punchy pairs workout.
Nice.
So basically it's going to be 7 minutes on, 1 minute off for 5 rounds in pairs, starting off with an 800 metre run, so 2 laps of this. Need to sort of see how that's going to go with 70 people, but should be all good. Bit of traffic control.
Yeah.
Followed by a station. So for the rest of that block, 7-minute block, you'll go from your 800 metre run into either 16 to 20 calorie ski and 20 wall balls, and you'll just AMRAP that for the full 7 minutes with your pairs, you go, I go. We've got ski and wall balls, we've got row and burpee over rower, classic. C2 bike and dumbbell snatch, dumbbell lunges and push press, and we've got goblet squats and ground to overhead. So yeah, basically 800 metre runs into mini AMRAPs, 5 of them.
No stone left unturned.
Pick the things right. You came in like a stone cold stunner. And now we done miles road runner. In summer, I still put up with your crib in a Hummer. I'm 3-0, I'm 300. You should know I'll be there for
Thank you for coming. I'm Milo, Sam, Danny. If you've got any questions today, feel free to come up to us. Can't do anything if you've got any injuries.
Okay, in terms of RPE, the rate of perceived exertion that you're going to be working out today's session is going to be nice and intense. Reason being, you're going to be working in pairs on a you go, I go format, okay? So you really need to earn that rest, Ted. Is anyone not familiar with any of those exercises? Yes, great, I knew it. I knew there'd be one.
Great stuff, guys! Unreal stuff. If you could just put a piece of equipment back on your way out, there are some drinks outside for everyone. Well done, guys. Smashed it. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, hey! Well done, guys.
I found it tough. The only one that did it.
It was good day, good energy.
Really good energy. I think we just turned it up a notch from our previous chapter of it being revived.
I think Danny brought that clinical, right, going through every single exercise, perfect,
In a warm
precise,
way, though.
and really
He's got
nice.
The composure of the man is
I think
insane.
as chaotic, that was probably the most chaotic session, but also the most disciplined. People actually listened to it, compared to not listening to us.
Me. It needs some more authority.
Yeah, he commands it without needing to.
Good numbers as well tonight, good turnout.
That was a seriously busy session.
Yeah.
65. I think we might have to turn. No, mate, 80.
We'll deal with that.
But yeah, no, turned up from last week. I think that's going to set a precedent moving forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you going to top that next week?
So we've got metrics to work out next week.
Oh,
But yeah, big week. I think starters we need to go on. Now it can only get bigger.
Route 6,000.
Route to 6,000.
Nothing major's gone wrong, so.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair point.
Teething issues, but to be expected.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll regroup on Monday.
Big week ahead.
Yeah. Big weekend.
It's always a big weekend.
Deep water.